evidence that we collect, and then we get back with those families or business owners. If you or somebody you know wants to get hold of us, they can simply go to wichitaparanormal.com. There's a contact us button there, and they send an email. It goes directly to me, and then I usually, if I can't just answer it, if it's something where they want us to come out, I'll forward it to Sherry, and she'll get in touch with them. No questions?
Nothing to do with this here, but it says you've done an investigation out there. Have you ever caught anything in the story in a half house?
Yes.
Like upstairs?
We've heard stuff going on.
I just wondered, I've worked there before, and I've heard footsteps on the upstairs, and, you know, nobody's allowed up there.
Right.
I just was curious if anybody else had ever heard it.
Actually, quite a few of the people that have worked there have heard that. We usually end up setting up our monitor equipment in there for some reason. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Any questions?
What about the farmhouse? Did you,
Well, we get a lot of stuff at the farmhouse. A lot of stuff. Actually, this year, most of our a lot of our presentation will be about the farmhouse.
that's what I thought.
We have a lot of new stuff
I
in there.
worked there for a long time, so.
Any other questions?
So if you say that when you actually hear or see things, you still don't, you just say there's possibly something?
Yeah.
What do you attribute the voices and the lights to?
Well, right now, that's still possible paranormal because I don't have an answer to that. But to give you an example of what I mean, we did an investigation at the Wellington Museum a couple years ago, I think. And the smell meter, I don't think this particular one does it, but one of the millimeters we have, it has a motion detection on it, where if it feels motion, it'll beep. And Bob and another investigator were on the top floor, and they were asking questions, and they asked, you know, are you a girl or a boy? And when they said boy, the thing went off, and it's loud when it goes off. So they kept asking questions. I was on the floor below. They kept asking questions, and pretty soon they just kept going back to, are you a boy? And as soon as they'd ask it, and it beeped at them every time, never still. So I could hear them getting excited about it, so I made my way up there. I asked them what was going on, they explained it to me. I said, all right, well, show me. So they started asking questions, and nothing happens, and Bob says, are you a boy? Lights up. So I'm just looking at it and going, what's going on? It's just too common for when you say that to that just automatically happen. So I started messing with the words. I'm like, are you a boy? And it happened. Are you a girl? No. Are you a girl? You light up. My voice was causing some kind of vibration, and they had it set on wood. So right then we figured out, okay, I could say anything. If I said it at that tone, it would light up. So yeah, we could have just stopped as soon as they said it was a boy, and we said, wow, we got paranormal activity right here. And for the most part, people would have been, oh yeah, you really did. Well, we didn't. We just had to keep looking at it and try to figure out the answer. So that's what we do.
As old as this building is, has anyone ever died here?
I don't think.
There was one person who worked here in City Hall that died at his desk of a heart attack. That's the only death that we know of in this building.
Have you ever been to the Schnitzler Mansion that's on South Broadway? It's a private residence now. Which
No, I have not.
Okay, it's a good one. And then have you ever been in Broadview?
Yes. I think I'm the only one on the team right now that was in the Broadview. Therefore, a short time before they changed owners, they were kind of open to this. And at that time, I got the team in and we investigated it. And there's a lot of interesting things that were going on with Broadview. Some of my favorite experiences happened there. But now they're under new management, and they really don't want that kind of thing. You know, they're more business minded. They want to get your higher class people, which whatever.
Have you ever investigated that Maple Grove Cemetery?
No, but it's not because of Maple Grove. just because of Maple Grove. We don't investigate outdoors unless we're specifically asked to. The reason being is too many things outdoors can affect our equipment. And just wind alone can cause our audio to just be ruined. The weather, of course, animals, and then worst of all, humans. Cars driving by, things like that. So we don't investigate outdoors.
So we need electricity for a lot of our equipment too.
Of all the places you've ever investigated, which one made your hair stand up the most?
I don't have any hair.
On your arms.
There's a location, but unfortunately, I can't tell you where that location is. It's here in town, I can tell you that. It's a business town, and again, they don't really want that stigma with it. But it never failed. We used to investigate it all the time. And every single time, something interesting happened. And one of my favorite stories to tell is on the third floor? Fourth floor. No, it wasn't the fourth floor. Okay, second floor. There was this huge industrial coffee maker. And it's probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm tired. And if something is here, can you please make me a cup of coffee? And I must have said it 100 times, because even the people on the team started making fun of me saying this. When we investigate for an hour, and then we switch everybody around, and we try to get different responses from different people. So we had switched, and I was actually watching monitors at this time. And I don't remember who called down, but somebody said, has anybody been messing with this coffee maker? And I said, no. And they go, well, it's making coffee. Like, whatever, guys, you guys are messing with it. Like, no, really, it's brewing right now. So I go up there, and sure enough, it's brewing hot water. And you had to turn the power on and then push the button to brew. Well, I'm looking at it, going, well, where'd the water come from? Because, that's a lot of work to move all that around. So I'm looking around, and I opened the doors underneath, and it was hooked to a 5-gallon thing of water that would feed it. So that's where the water came from. And if there was coffee grounds in there, something would have made me buy coffee. And that's probably my favorite story. One more, real quick, I'll just tell you because I love that location. It might even been the same night, but we were done with the investigate, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We're all standing outside, and we're talking, and we get this feeling like something's watching us. I mean, we've all had that feeling. So I have a camera, and I just take pictures of the side of the building. Well, I forgot about it. I never went back to really look at it other than maybe just scanning through them real quick. And maybe 6 months ago I'm at work, and it was a little slow. So I pull these old pictures up that were kind of dark, and I'm just lighting them up, seeing what's in the background. A couple of times I see like an investigator down the hallway. Well, I get to these pictures, and I lighten them up, and there's a dark figure standing in the window. And we were all outside. I remember exactly when the picture was taken and everything. So that building was really interesting. I wish I could take all of you there, because it was great. So, but not as great as this building. Okay, so now I'm just going to ask you to, if you want, get up, walk around the building.